Good afternoon all. Today we are going to discuss about basic concept of organic reaction. Okay. Already we discussed about the things the isomerism. Okay, isomerism, we know that the same molecular formula but different structure formula. The structure formula means that the properties, chemical properties and physical property also different. Okay, now we are going to discuss basic concept of organic reaction. Okay, first of all, we think about what is reaction. Okay, when the reactant molecule is reacted to give the product, this is the reaction. Okay, there may be the inorganic reaction or organic reaction. Here we are studying about the basic concept of organic reaction. So organic, first you understand about that organic compounds. What is organic compounds? The organic compounds is made by the carbon and hydrogen. Without carbon and hydrogen, there is no organic compound. So the carbon and hydrogen is formed to give the compound, that is the organic compounds. Here the reactant substance is also called the substrate, then reagent and product. Okay, substrate, you think that the substance means the organic compounds. So organic compounds, when it is reacted with any one reagent, the reagent may be the organic reagent, otherwise the inorganic reagent. Okay, so the substrate react with the reagent to give the product. Okay, you think that this is a substrate, it is give the product. Okay, this is not a single step process, this is the step by process. Okay, the step by process, when you are studying about the mechanism, okay, when you study about the mechanism, that times the electron is flowing. Okay, the electron is flow one atom to another atom and it is give the product. This is the process, it is taken by the step by step. Okay, the next organic compounds, it is mainly, it is combined with the covalent bond. Okay, but we come to know what is covalent bond. The covalent bond, which means the mutually sharing of electron. Okay, when the two atom, it is the both atom, it is the mutually share them electrons. Okay, when it is mutually share the electron, it is form the covalent bond. Okay, so this covalent bond is the two type of cleavage in the organic compounds. The organic compounds, the two types, which means one is the homolytic cleavage, another one is the heterolytic cleavage. The homolytic cleavage is the symmetrical cleavage. Okay, then heterolytic cleavage is the non-symmetrical cleavage. You listen the first example, this is a homolytic cleavage. The homolytic cleavage, it means the ethane molecule, consider the ethane molecule. This is the ethane molecule. When it is the symmetrically cleavage, it is the break the bond. Okay, this is a carbon containing the one bond. This is the mutually sharing electrons. Okay, this is a covalent bond. It is the cleaved. It is the breaked. Okay, when it is break, you listen here. The both parties, the methyl group is present. There is the both sides is the one carbon, 3 hydrogen. Here also the one carbon and 3 hydrogen. Here is the this is the symmetrical cleavage. Okay, so both atoms, the both carbon atoms retain the one electrons. That is known as the intermediate. Here this the intermediate is the not stable. Okay, this intermediate is a highly reactive substance. It is the highly reactive with some other elements to give the some product. Okay, that is the product. Already we have discussed about the substrate. It is the react with the reagent to give the product. Okay, so when this here we think it's this is the product. Okay, first it is the homolytic cleavage. The cleavage is the homolytic means symmetrical cleavage. The both sides is the same atom. The same atom is, you consider this the left hand side and right hand side, one carbon atom and 3 hydrogen atoms. So it is given the free radicals. Okay, the free radicals are intermediate compounds. This is an intermediate compound. It is the highly reactive substance because it is the not stable. Okay, so it is highly reactive and to give the product. Okay, this is a homolytic cleavage. Okay, the second one is we are going to discuss about the heterolytic cleavage. Okay, the heterolytic cleavage means it is the symmetrical, that is the non-symmetrical. Here the left hand side and right hand side, the both elements are present. Here the heterolytic cleavage is not considered like that. Okay, this is the one side, it is the group of element are present, other side is the other group of the element present. Okay, this is the number of element is not equal. Okay, we'll give one example. Butyl bromide. Here the heterolytic cleavage is occur in the carbon and bromine bond, or carbon and bromine bond. When the carbon and bromine bond is the breakup, this is the one part of the substance, this is the other part of the element. Okay, this is both sides is not equal. Okay, this is the non-symmetrical. This is the heterolytic cleavage. Okay, so here is the boron is the highly electronegative elements. Okay, so highly electronegative elements. This is the first things we are discuss about this. The both carbon retain the one electron, but here not like that. This is the bromine. It is the gain the retain the to one pair of the electron. Okay, so it is the highly electronegative element. So this carbon is the electropositive elements. Okay, then this thing is the carbon bromine bond. The carbon bromine bond cleavage. The next one is we are going to discuss about the hydrogen carbon bond. Okay, hydrogen carbon bond. The hydrogen carbon bond, it is occur in the aldol condensation. This is the aldehyde group. Aldehyde group, it is the hydrolysis. When it is hydrolysis to form the aldehyde, it is the water is also formed. Okay, the next one is the hybridization of carbon in carbocation. Okay, carbon. The hybridization is discussing about the carbocation and carboanion. When you consider the carbocation, this hybridization is the sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization, this is a planar structure. It shows the planar structure. This is the carbocation. Then we are discussing about the carbanion. Carbanion. This is the sp3 hybridization pyramid structure. The lone pair of the electron. This is hybridization of the carbocation and carbanion. The carbocation is the planar structure, the sp2 hybridization. Carbanion, sp3 hybridization, pyramid structure. The next one we are discussing about the nucleophile and electrophile. Okay, the nucleophile are reagent that has the high affinity for the electropositive center. Okay, the reagent, it is the highly affinity to positive center. Okay, in the positive center, this reagent not unser the pair of the electron. So it is the try to get the electron from the positive center, and it is give the stable compound. Okay, that is the here the Lewis base, all it is act as the nucleophile. The next one is the electrophile. Electrophile, the reagent attached towards the negative charge or electric rich center. Here all Lewis acid is act as the electrophiles. Okay, the next one we are discussing about the inductive effect. The what is first we are come to know what is inductive effect. Inductive effect is defined as the change in the polarization of the covalent bond due to the presence of the adjacent bond. The polarization of covalent bond due to the presence of adjacent bond. Here also we are discussing about the carbon-carbon bond and carbon-chlorine bond. This is a carbon-carbon bond, it means ethane. Ethane, that is the non-polar compound. Then carbon-chloride bond, carbon-carbon chloride bond is the ethyl chloride is the polar bond. Okay, so here also carbon and chlorine. Here the chlorine is the highly electronegative elements. With the highly electronegative element, when the compared to the carbon, when it is compared to the chlorine, it is the positive atoms. Okay, so when it is the C1 draws the shared pair electron between itself C2. This the polarization effect is called the inductive effect. Okay, first thing is the carbon-carbon, that is the ethane bond, carbon and carbon. This is the non-polar compound. Then the polar compound is the ethyl chloride. Ethyl chloride means CH3, CH2, Cl. This is the we are discussing about the bond CH2 bond Cl. Okay, here is the Cl is the highly electronegative atom. Highly electronegative atom. Then when this carbon is compared to the chlorine, this carbon is the highly electropositive atoms. Okay. Here this is the electronegative atom. When it is combined with this the carbon atom, it is become the stable. This things is the carbon C1 and C2. The carbon C1 and C2. Carbon C1 draws shared pair electron between itself and C2. This polarization effect is called the inductive effect. Okay. The next one is the electrometric effect. Electrometric effect is the temporary effect which operate unsaturated compounds. Unsaturated compounds. Electrometric is the temporary effect. They operate the unsaturated compound. Here also we are discussing about the carbonyl group and the unsaturated compound, the alkene. The carbonyl group, it means carbon, aldehyde and ketone. C double bond O, the carbonyl group. Then alkene groups. Alkene group means carbon, carbon. Okay. Here also the oxygen is the electronegative elements. Okay. When the pi electrons when this pi electron is shifted to the oxygen, at that time this carbon is the not sufficient electron. So this carbon, it is reacted with the one nucleophile. The nucleophile means another reagent. For example, cyanide. Then it became the new bond, carbon, carbon. Like that. The next thing, the next thing is the hydrogen and carbon, ethene. Now this pi electron, this hydrogen is the electrophile such as the hydrogen approach and the alkene molecule, pi electron are shifted to the electrophile, new bond formation of the hydrogen and carbon to form this is the electrometric effect. The electrometric effect means the two types of bond, carbonyl and carbon-carbon. The carbonyl means carbon and oxygen. This is the ethene molecule bond. Okay, the first thing is the carbon, this is the pi electrons. Here the carbon is containing, this is the bond containing the pi electron is shifted to the oxygen. At that time, this carbon has to get the not sufficient electron. So not sufficient electron, it is gained from the cyanide atom. Okay, so this is the bond, it is linked with this carbon and this carbon to form carbonyl cyanide. Okay, the next thing is the ethene. Ethene means carbon-carbon bond. Okay, this is a carbon-carbon bond, it is bring the one new bond with the hydrogen or electrophile to get the CH3, CH2, it will come.